to live as we are now live.
Oh, yay. Hello, world.
I think I overdid it today, though, with my setup. I mean, it's usually pretty extreme, but I have to send you guys this picture. I think I kept all spoilers out of it. Yeah. There's also my mini notepad and my phone and multiple tabs for different NPCs.
See, I should
It's a nice
probably
setup.
do that for myself.
My setup tonight's a little bit crazy.
I used to do elaborate setups for playing, but now I just use D&D Beyond. Sponsor us.
It is 100% most of my DM notes. It's D&D Beyond, NPC Tracker, which is on MacBooks and on phones, and then I have a million. This is my new one. This is cool. This is
Ooh.
my little.
I love it.
I love this thing, but then I also have I can't share the front of this because it's got all my notes. A bunch of post-it notes everywhere, and my physical notes binder.
I have an entire laptop bag just for D&D.
And then the other parts of being a DM.
All the books. Yep.
So those two, and the Humblewood source book with all of its post-it notes marking pages.
My very first DM had the player's handbook, the DM's guide, and the monster manual. He took the time to label every single section, and all of the markers went all the way around the entire paged edge of the books. You could find anything in a second.
That would be so smart. I need to do that.
Yeah. I don't know how long it took him, but I mean, it was very well done.
And if we ever get a chance to play in person...
Oh, that's pretty! Well,
it's kind of hard to
what
see.
I saw of it.
Do. Fucking focus. Fuck! I'll take a picture. Oh, wait, there it is!
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the inside of a Humblewood D&D screen is kind of hard to see. You can't have my secrets.
My
No
secrets
secrets for us.
Mine.
It has suggestions for what's in Eliza's. It's got suggestions for different things in pockets of bandits. Encounter ideas. Lots of shit. But I never use this because we don't do in-person game.
Sadly. I'd love to have in-person games with y'all.
I would love it. Well, while we're waiting for Paige to come back, hello, viewers, whoever you may be. If there are any of you out there yet, if not, you're stuck with us on YouTube. I'm sorry. Welcome back to Humblewood, Heroes of Humble Origin. I am the DM, as always, Sarah, with a whole bunch of my friends here. Does anyone have any announcements?
I do.
Go for it.
If you guys don't follow me on TikTok at AlphaHannah5311, please do so. And also, it's the same handle, AlphaHannah5311 on Instagram. I post on my story a lot of things that I'm doing. Also, follow me again at the same handle on archiveofourown.org. if you guys like superhero stories and enemies to lovers arcs, you're gonna love my story that I'm writing. I currently released chapter 12 of the story. It's called Firebite. Please check it out. I created these characters when I was in 5th grade. So I've revamped them recently and I think it's pretty darn good. So please read it for yourselves.
Sounds spicy.
It's pretty good.
Anyone else have any announcements they like to send out there into the ether? Paige, any announcements?
Sorry, I was cleaning my house like a responsible adult.
Yes, you are better than most
Yay!
of us.
Honestly.
At least me.
The last 48 hours, I've been spring cleaning. Honestly, I've got 2 bags of clothes to take to Goodwill tomorrow now. Hi, I'm Paige. I'm a chaotic bisexual who plays in a chaotically gay D&D game every Tuesday called Queer Questers. Check us out at twitch.tv/RyanTheEnchanter every Tuesday night. I play a lesbian tiefling. It's gone great. I got a new bow that was blessed to me by a fucking emerald dragon. As long as I don't reveal what their identity is to the general public. Yeah. And then every Friday is GKC, every Sunday is Fandelver, every other Tuesday is Clone Wars 5e. That is it for my announcements. And every other Monday is Pandora.
Anybody else?
I love you.
If any of you have not already, check out society6.com/AKI obsession. I have been adding so much work these past couple weeks because it's been sitting in my Lightroom waiting for me to finish editing and enhancing and uploading. And I've been working on it. So we got some interesting designs. My latest and favorite right now is a whole bunch of grasses that I put in a blue tone. And they will be having a sister come up soon where it's all in sepia. So, check it out. If that's the only announcements we have, without further ado, would anyone like... Oh, go! Was that for an announcement? Okay.
Chronicles of Narayap will hopefully be starting soon-ish. I'm aiming for maybe either Tuesdays or Saturdays, but I have to get people together and get scheduling worked out. I am almost finished with the map, and I will be hopefully be able to share that soon because it's a big map, and I gotta fit a lot of small icons on a big map. So I gotta. It's like I don't want things to overlap. I have a fun app that I've been using on there that it's been really good. But yes, hopefully that will be starting soon. I have the start all finished up, and hopefully adventures shall soon ensue.
Hooray! Alright then. If that's the rest of the announcements, then who would like to do a recap for inspiration?
I'll try.
Go for it.
I'll try it. From what I remember though, last session was a semi-chill session. Rivia was not with us, or she was, but like not as a coherent being. That's okay. We were doing a lot of traveling to get to a place. We have a metal insect dragon now that can be our companion. The very, very last spot that we left off, it took a few days of traveling, but hello! The very last thing that we saw, we went into the mountains and we Sorry. My throat wants to die. We found a rope ladder. So we were up the rope ladder. We don't know if there's any people around. We don't have much information. We can't detect the guy that we're trying to detect. But rope ladder. That's what I got.
Yep. So you guys, in your search to find Sergeant Alden, who had been taken, replaced by an individual that you had earlier dealt with, you are hoping to rescue him from fate. Fate's currently relatively unknown. In doing so, you've taken the past couple days to travel towards the Bandit Coalition and found a location pointed out by Benna as a different avenue that might be able to get you to the place that you've seen in the vision that Alden seemed to have been held. Zinzi's had her own conversation with Benna after the original meeting, in which she was presented with an opportunity and told to think about it and get back to her with an answer at some point as to whether or not she'd be willing to help set up a sort of humble folk guard, as most of the town's guard entirely is entirely made of bird folk, hence the reason it is often referred to as the Perch Guard. The fact that her town had humble folk in it, as in their guard, was unusual to begin with. So she's left to consider that possibility.
I'm just a different breed, bitch. We squirrels can perch in trees.
After which you all took off to your travels and have now found yourselves at the base of the mountains, where you encountered a rope ladder that has been mentioned was tucked away, hidden, climbing upwards into the mountains, and you began your ascent. As you all decided to travel upward, I believe, is where we left off.
Yes, I believe it was Changa, Shaori, Zinzi's, or was Zinzi's in the back? Okay, it was either Zinzi's and Gerald, or Gerald and Zinzi's, sorry.
I think I was in the back, but that's...
Oh, you're right, because you were on the floaty disc. Didn't you cast Tenzor's floating disc thing?
Yes, I don't think I can use that to, like, levitate up a cliff, but let me look into that, because that would actually be fun. But I more so the fact that my back is covered in spines, so a sneak attack is not going to be a comfortable one.
Okay. Yeah, and then Gwendolyn was in the back with Rubia in front of her. But yes, we were all climbing the ladder.
All right. As you all begin your ascent upwards into the mountain, this is a long rope ladder. You are climbing and climbing, and it's getting harder as it keeps going upwards. I need everyone to make me an athletics check.
Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. Nobody tell your answers yet.
I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate D&D.
Wait, did you say it's your favorite?
You love D&D. That's why you play so much of it.
Check the player roles for the campaign.
Oh, I saw it, but favorite game, right?
It's now a 10. I spot you. Your dice roll is a 10. Add your modifiers.
Yeah.
That's
13 then.
okay. That's one die down.
Is it not on brand of me to roll on nat 1 at the beginning of every Humblewood game?
Thereabouts, yeah.
I'll take Showery's portent, so I have a 13 instead.
I am also using portent because I rolled a 3 plus 0, so I'm going to take an 18 as I find the right footing.
Okay.
I have a 10.
10?
21.
21?
I have a 19.
21.
19. Changya?
15. 8 plus 7 is 15.
Is 15.
I don't do math.
Yes, 15. 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. That is how I do my math. Fight me.
Oh, yep.
Understandable.
100%.
My brain said 7 plus 7 is 14. 8 plus 8 is 16. So meet in the middle.
That works too.
Just stop
Don't
dying.
die.
Stop.
At least I have a no longer expired inhaler now, so I'm okay.
Yay!
That's good.
I also have one of those.
So, Showery, I believe you're the only one who rolled under a 12.
Correct.
Um,
If it helps, before you say anything, I have the glide feature from being an owl.
Mhm.
Carry on.
I'm aware. You do start to slip, but you're able to catch yourself. But it is a long trek. Take 1 point of exhaustion
Whew, okay.
as you guys reach the top. As you have reached the top, you find yourself amongst you have reached the top of this ladder, I should say. There is still cliff sides on either side of what seems to be a path. Some points fully covered, some points out in the open. Leading forward, just a single straight path. Do you continue?
Since the rope was hidden by like a wall, not wall, can I look for any other possible wall, not walls?
Make a perception check. Or investigation check is probably more accurate as you'd be feeling around.
Okay. I'm rolling an in-person dice.
As we get up at the top of it, Gwen's gonna be like, "Whew, oh goodness. Perhaps we can sit a spell before we continue upward."
I got a 19. Unnatural 19.
You said a unnatural 19?
Unnatural 19.
Okay. What? Oh, what?
Yes.
Also, Gwen is gonna cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
Oh,
As you're
that's
casting Detect Magic and Changa, you're looking around. I keep wanting to call you Moth because that is what you set your name to.
You can call me Moth. That's fine. I mean, that's what I am. So. Oh, hang on. Can I go off topic? Not off topic, just for a moment.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, hang on. Show and tell. I made this.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
That's pretty.
That is very
Take a
pretty
picture and send it in
taxidermy.
the group. I want to study it.
Hang on.
That is very pretty
I'm
taxidermy.
sorry, I didn't put my headphones back on. It's a shadow box, and these are local moths that I found.
Take a
So-
picture and send it in the group. I want to take a closer look.
Definitely.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, so it's off topic because it's not a part of the game, but it's on topic because it's moths.
Moth.
Why
Changa,
do I
as you were
want to get a
looking around-
Mothman avatar for VR chat now?
Oh my god, wait.
Amazing.
See if I can find one somewhere.
So, Changa, as you're looking around, you don't see any more crevices or secret ladders in the immediate area. You do see a couple boot prints in the ground, but it's like they're very well hidden. So you see a couple prints and then they disappear into nothing, and they don't necessarily seem recent.
Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm
Ms.
gonna tell everyone
Rhinethorn.
there's some hoof prints, which are interesting. But we'll see if those add up to anything later.
And Gwen, as you ritually cast Detect Magic, you don't get a sense of anything besides what is on all of your friends.
Well, there's nothing magical around that I can deduce.
Can I use a survival roll to try and track where those footprints lead? Or the hoof prints?
They're just boot prints.
Oh,
Just
boot prints.
And they don't seem to. It looks like they're pretty old, and they do kind of like disappear. But it looks like they're just heading
Oh,
up and
I
down
see.
this path. It looks like it's just this is a thoroughfare that's used, not necessarily often,
I see.
and by those who are good at the sneaky sneak.
Sneaks.
Do you continue? Alright. You all continue your travel, and the road continues to wind upwards, downwards. You're surrounded by steep cliffs. Sometimes they're above you, sometimes they kind of drop off, and there's a drop next to you. Anything you guys want to talk about as you're traveling?
Babushka.
Weren't there panthers here last time? Or ogres? Or a caterpillar? I forget.
Caterpillar?
No.
Oh, wait, were you not with us during the giant caterpillar spa?
Oh,
A giant caterpillar spa?
was it a caterpillar? I thought it was a beetle.
No,
It was a bagworm.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
That's the one, dear. Oh, that spa. I still have dreams about it.
Yeah, I
It
can
was
especially.
lovely.
I apparently missed that part.
Yes, it's
It was shortly before you arrived. It's actually how we got to the Alderheart.
a beautiful
Had a
dwelling.
lovely spa.
Yes.
Also
I
how
could
I
really
joined
use one now.
the gang as well. So it's
Oh.
quite a pinnacle point. I do so hope that we can go back. It's very interesting seeing a giant insect-like creature. This was interesting.
Well, it sounds very lovely.
The way it moved was so smooth and magical.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
All right, well, when we find these ruffians, what do you think? Ambush or?
I say that we should probably try to stay as quiet as possible. In case we come upon anyone, we can sit back and observe. Because we do not know whether we'd be rushing into something or causing a lot of chaos that we cannot get ourselves out of.
It's very
Fair
true.
point. A bagworm is a caterpillar. You all
Okay.
are correct.
Speaking of being sneaky and not getting ourselves noticed, I think maybe I should head to the back of the group. That climb took a lot out of me, and I don't trust myself to be quite as sneaky as I could be.
Do you need Do you need a bit of assistance? Or something? Something to
Actually, I
make
don't know what'll get rid of exhaustion other than sleeping.
Hmm.
To be honest,
Okay.
Make an intelligence check.
I would like to do that.
I will do that as
at
well.
disadvantage.
Hang on.
Oh no, that's a that's a 4.
You
Yikes.
I got an 8.
tired.
So
Yeah,
Someone say
I don't
8?
know, man.
yeah, I rolled as well just to see if I would know.
An 8?
So
You're not really used to that. I mean, you're used to magic in the form of wow, that word just left my head completely. A
Like
I hate when
that.
that happens.
artificer would. You're not really entirely sure,
Okay.
but rest would definitely help. Or maybe there's a kind of magic you're not sure. Did anyone else want to roll that or no?
What was the roll?
Just an intelligence check
For what?
to see if there's anything else that would get rid of a point of exhaustion.
Well,
thinking-
I rolled fucking high for that. What the fuck? Dirty 20.
Hey,
Dirty
cops
20.
know how to get rid of exhaustion.
Yeah, you've been around enough other guards to realize that a lesser restoration will probably help.
I mean, anyone here knows magic knows the lesser restoration spell. That
Aha!
helps with exhaustion.
Oh,
I
I
do.
feel so stupid. I just swapped that out this morning.
I believe I still have it on me.
I love you, moth friend.
If you get too
I love
tired,
you, flesh friend.
Yay!
And I'm gonna cast lesser restoration.
All right, you've lost your point of exhaustion.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, thank you very much.
Of course.
I feel ready to tackle the day.
Yay!
Well, we should still be careful no matter where we go.
Very true.
Of course. Olivia, how are you in the sneaky category? Are you very adept?
I'm fairly good at it, if I'd say so myself.
Oh. Well.
I get a +9.
That's
Ooh.
rather sneaky.
Very sneaky. Yeah, all right. I'm 3 points under you. My. Quite impressive, bird friend. She left when I was...
Thank you. I'm still here. I'm still listening. I just have to take my no baby pill.
Ah, I see. Oh. Yes, it will be time for medication for me as well, but not yet. I miss her. I miss her so much. Life just isn't the same without her. I'm talking about my sister, if you do
I
that.
figured.
Okay.
Who may at some point appear behind you and tackle you.
No,
Well-
I'm kind of tethered by my headphones at the moment.
Oh yes. I mean, you could do what I do and just.
I'm
throw them
having-
down.
I'm having to stand like at the end of the cable and like reach to reach my water.
Anything else you guys wish to discuss? Is that a pie cupcake?
It is. It's pie. No,
Pie
well,
cookie?
it's pie day.
Love that.
The pie.
Pie day. It is indeed.
Oh my
pie.
god, it is pie day.
It is
Tomorrow
pie
is
day.
Vibe Check Caesar Day.
Mhm.
Wait, what?
Ides of March.
Oh yeah, that's
We get to
right.
Vibe Check Caesar with a knife tomorrow.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yee.
Also, it's my birthday on Wednesday.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
I'm
birthday.
older. Oh, about to be older.
happy birthday.
But are you yet? Have you yet reached the age of no old enough to know better?
None of us have.
Have any
It's
of
an
us?
important
I
age.
think
It's
I
different
reached
for each of
that
us.
quite a while ago. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm ahead.
It's different for everyone. We all reach that age at a different point in our lives. Some
Okay.
apparently never reach that age, but that's another conversation for another day.
Sheesh.
All right, as you guys are traveling, it is a long trek. As I said, the terrain is scattered in its outcroppings. Does anyone want to make any perception checks as you're traveling, or?
I'll make one. I'm going to cast guidance on myself first.
Okay.
So I'll give myself a d4 on that, which I needed. 17.
Okay.
What be yonder?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Oh, actually, 11. That's not terrible.
Okay. It seems relatively peaceful as you guys are traveling. Moth.
Hang on, this was a perception?
If you'd like.
Yeah, okay. 19 plus 3. 21. 22. 21.
Plus 3?
Plus 3 is 22.
22.
All right. As you guys are traveling, Changa, you are the first one to notice. Up ahead, it seems to be, while you are in a canyon-esque part of the path, you see that up ahead there is a rope bridge, as there is an expansive cavern down below.
Oh no. Not another one.
Did we go this way last time?
This is a completely different path because it's not towards, you're not going to the coalition. This is a different path that was off to the side.
Ooh.
And Changa, as you rolled high enough, you do notice that near where some of the ropes are kept on the one side of the bridge that you guys are on, there seems to be little packets, like little bags hidden away.
I'm gonna like scuttle closer to them to get a closer look. I'm just gonna semi-shout to the group, "There's something fishy!"
Oh,
So
dear.
you're just going for the bags?
I'm not like going for them. I'm gonna like get close enough to them that I can look at them without being super close to them.
Okay. You get close and it looks like a little tiny bag kind of tucked under where like the rope has been staked into the ground. It's kind of hard to see from your angle. But you're still a good like 20 feet back.
Like motioning for everybody to come over.
What is it?
There's something interesting about the stakes for this bridge. There's some sort of bags.
Could they be sandbags to hold them down?
I mean, if they are, that's a problem because I don't trust the sandbags. If they're not,
Very
it's
true.
still a problem because it might be a trap.
Hey, I investigate for trap. This thing I haven't done as a rogue. I haven't done that as a rogue yet.
There you go.
For trap.
So you're getting up close enough to like, how close are you getting?
I'm going to be sneaky and get close enough to at least kind of see if I can see like where the where like they're tied off. See
I will
where
point
they're
out,
tied to.
you are in the middle of the open, in the middle of this canyon. There's nowhere to hide.
as soon as Gerald passes like the front of the line, I'm gonna cast guidance on him as he goes.
Okay.
It's not like stealth, more stepping carefully, sort of watching where I step, and if I actually, what I can with my cloak of many colors, like in my hat of disguise, I can actually make my hat and cloak sort of the color of the ground underneath me.
Kind of. But I mean, you still cast a shadow. It's bright.
I'm still gonna cast a shadow. I'm just like,
The
just in
wheel
case
of
someone's
time on this.
more obviously observing. I'm a little harder to keep track of. Yeah.
Make a stealth check.
Stealth. 27.
27. Okay. You feel pretty stealthy? You feel pretty stealthy.
Okay. So yes, I will get a little just close enough so that I can observe the bags and see if I can see that if they're connected to something, or see if I can follow, like if they're like tied to a rope, I can follow where that goes.
How close are you right now?
That is a good question. How far was the group from the
20
bridge?
feet.
20 feet. I will go about 10.
Okay. You get about 10 feet away, and doesn't seem like it's attached to anything. It's just like a little bag.
Can I smell anything out of the ordinary?
Make a perception check.
Where is my perception? It is there. Okay. 18.
18. It's a very small bag, and it's pretty well sealed. I don't necessarily think you can smell anything off of it.
Poke it.
Shauri would like to speak into the necklace to Gerald.
He doesn't have it. He has a.
You got okay.
He can still receive sendings and messages.
Okay.
I thought you decided not to switch because you wanted to keep the sending necklace. And if you did that, it was when you reached the bottom of the. Based on our discussion that we had last game, you decided not to switch because you needed the communication.
Or did I? Oh wait, no. I kept. I did switch, but I have message to send to them if I need to. I just don't have the sending necklace. But I can send a message to the message.
That does sound right.
To them, because we're going to be hopefully in close enough proximity for me to use that.
Then I will loudly whisper, Gerald, if it's not a trap, let me try and identify it.
Oh dear. Has my magic vision worn off already?
Oh, that was forever ago. It's been about a half a day's travel.
My dear. Perhaps we could just rest for the night near this bridge.
That doesn't pass the vibe check.
It's
Doesn't
about
pass
like
the vibe
I'll
check.
say it's about like 3 in the afternoon at this point.
Oh. my mistake. I thought it was nap time.
Yeah, you guys got to the bottom at like 10. Now it's like 3 p.m.
I mean, we could like sit and evaluate the situation, so like we can rest our weary legs. But like,
yes, perhaps I can make some tea.
I did a good question. I think that I forgot to ask before when we first initially saw this. Is this seem like something Gerald would have been familiar with? Like if this was of what this could be from back in his days?
Not necessarily. But you said that right after I rolled. Make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
So there's like he's sitting there like, there's something about this seems oddly familiar. Oh. I thank you, Die. Thank you, Loki.
You do have a D4.
That is a nat 20 for a 26.
Nat 20. All right, you are able to duck out of the way as you see out of the corner of your eye a flaming arrow coming flying from the top of this cavern cliff and
Oh, no.
hitting the small bag, and it
Got
bursts
Hey,
into
Gerald
the
like
packet of
sees the
gunpowder
arrow
that
and-
it is.
Yeah, Gerald just-
And you
the
take
arrow
only
just-
half damage.
Yeah, he tries to like slide back. He's just like, oh, it's gonna
Being,
hurt.
Ah, shit!
being about
no.
10 feet back from Gerald, can Showery attempt to check to see exactly where that arrow came from and see if she can spot anybody?
You can certainly try.
I would like to try, please.
How much have I been burned?
This
Um,
2, 4.
12 points of fire damage, halved to 6.
6. Ow.
That is a 22 perception.
22 perception. You, as you are looking up, you can see where the arrow came from, and you almost think you see movement scuttling back away.
Okay.
And if anyone is wondering, I just shared in the Humblewood group, your 27 for stealth did not beat the natural 20 of perception as they were
Ooh.
watching you head towards
Oh no.
the
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Is
Uh,
the bridge on fire?
When would
the
like to
bridge is collapsed. The side, the rope where it had blown, if you guys look, has now swung down, and it's only the other side that's connected.
Dang.
that fast?
was
Exploding fire
gunpowder?
rope bridge.
Gunpowder tends to explode the earth itself, which disconnected the rope from the ground.
We should probably run or leave.
Shari?
Immediately after I did my perception check, can I cast a guiding bolt? It has a 120-foot range.
You can certainly try.
I would like to try.
They would have quite a bit of cover.
Okay. This is just a straight attack, right? Okay, +7. I got a natural 20 +7. If
Roll
that
damage.
changes anything. 4d6. Let's just roll it here. 13.
Damn, girl.
13 damage. What kind of damage is that? Electric?
Woogie, woogie,
should-
woogie.
It
think-
should be
Radiant. Sorry.
thank you. That's I was gonna say I'm like the other word for divine. Yeah, so you don't necessarily see if anything got hit because it's too far away.
Yeah,
You
I just
hear
saw
it?
the movement. That's where it came from. I immediately lent off a bolt, and that's that. I suggest we run. I say that after I attack. I don't know if anybody else spoke. I'm sorry.
I need to get across.
There will be other ways. They wouldn't get rid of their only way in and out. As he like pats the singe off and sort of motions like, "Oh, you're all right. We should get back."
We should at least find cover. We don't know how many more there are. And
Okay.
You guys find a place of cover?
I would like to, yes.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it a check. You guys all find somewhere to kind of duck around behind, and you wait. And a minute passes. Then 3. And 5. Nothing.
Well, either there was only one of them and they ran away, I got them, or they're waiting for us to come out. I don't like this.
I don't like any of those options. I think we should probably rethink our steps.
We could try to fly across.
If we try to fly across and they end up shooting us with fiery arrows, then what are we going to do then?
Not to mention, 2 of us can't fly.
Oh,
That is true.
But there's a few of us
Technically-
that can fly.
Technically, only one of you can fly. The others can
Mhm.
glide, which is still at a
Oh.
downward angle.
DM, describe this
Oh.
cavernous expanse, if you would.
From where you guys are and where you have seen, it looks to be it's about maybe 50 feet across, but it is deep. It is real deep.
I'm so sorry. How
Hold
many?
on, I'm gonna check something.
How many feet across?
50.
50?
50.
Oh, piece of
So-
cake.
So DM,
Mhm.
I have a standing leap of 30 feet. If I do the dash action, I can jump 60 feet.
Squirrel just goes. "Yee!"
We could also rope each other together, and then
Then it would be Demon Slayer logic, which if you
That
jump
I
into
will
the air, you
say-
can't dodge.
I will say, I will allow it with an athletics check because the leap itself is 30 feet. You can dash, which is running, to begin the leap. So it's not like you're leaping 60 feet.
What if I'm hasted?
That's why I'm saying it's going to require like an athletics check. You like
Hold on,
haste
hold on,
might
hold
get
on,
you
hold
like
on.
a little
Wait,
bit
wait.
further because that's that's like running.
Oh shit,
What?
I have boots of speed.
Huh?
Would you like your squirrel shaken
Right.
or stirred?
Which offers speed. So let's see how good of a running
Here's-
start
here's
you
the
get.
thing.
It's still
If I
gonna be an
click
athletics check.
If I click the boots of speed, and then I dash, and then jump,
Dear
Mhm.
God.
You get a nice running leap.
would that
I
give
will
me
say-
advantage on my jump, on my athletics check? Because I have the boots of speed clicked and I dash.
All right. What's your athletics and what's your acrobatics?
My acrobatics is 6. My athletics is 3.
I will say you can roll acrobatics if you want to do this. I have a DC in my head for a full success, and I have a DC in my head for a half success.
Okay. Guys, I want to try this. If I die, I die. I'll bring out a new character.
I see a
and-
hand.
At least put a rope around your waist so we can grab you if you don't quite make it.
That's fine.
All
I'll
right.
have a rope tied around me.
Let's do that.
Um,
yeah.
I have a question.
Also, I have a question.
How is Gwen's vision and judging distances? Because she
That
has
will
a
know.
plan.
To do with perceptions.
All right. Well, let me roll the perception check to see if I can
You
figure it out.
also, because you're still far back from the edge, you don't know how deep this thing is.
Oh dear, that was
Nor
not a
have
fair
any of you
pilot.
looked to see what's at the bottom. Just gonna throw that out there.
Oh yes,
Like
don't know
I
if
said,
I
if I
wanted
die,
that.
I fucking die.
probably just a small fall.
It's gonna be a key fish moment.
Tell you what, dear. I will stand over here, and boom, we're both invisible.
Okay.
That way, no
Oh,
one can-
there's just a floating rope.
Yep.
I won't draw their attention at all.
Nope. So Gwen's like holding on to the edge of the rope, so there's just like a random rope that's like kind of like one side is like a little up and the other side's a little up.
Okay.
Zinzi's is getting guidance before she does anything of this.
Okay.
That's a D4.
A D4 whenever you
Okay.
need it in the next minute.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt this jump.
As long as you don't attack or cast a spell, your invisibility is good for an hour.
Okay, just for record, y'all are not stopping me.
Nope.
Correct?
No,
No.
but Gwen is like anchoring the
Y'all
other
just
side.
see the rope and then the loop of the rope start to dash towards the edge of the ravine.
Chunga's gonna stand like on the edge and prepare in case Zinzi starts to fall.
Mhm.
And
I'm
all
gonna
you
try
can
to
see
cast
is a
something.
running rope.
I'm gonna hold on to what would be the spiky mother that we have
Yeah.
as she holds the rope
Okay.
and is
So-
invisible.
Oh, I haven't been hugged in such
Hey.
a while.
And I
click
plant
my
my feet.
boots.
Mhm.
I dash, so you
Uh-huh.
see this rope just noom. And you said
Oh, boy.
acrobatics. Yes.
You can use acrobatics if you'd like.
I'm gonna roll. Okay. Dirty 20 with guidance.
Dirty 20. All right. So, you, Zinzis, click your boots and take off, running as fast as you can. And as soon as you reach the edge, you hit right on the edge of your foot and leap and go. And you land on the other side. Your heel starts to catch and almost slip backwards. But that was a full success. The DC was 17 for a full success.
Okay.
I'm
You're
not-
on the
I wouldn't
other
have needed
side.
guidance because I rolled an 18 for the base roll. All right. When I'm on the other side, is there a sort of rock outcropping that I can secure this rope around?
I won't even make this a perception check. So there's this spikes that were holding up the other half
Okay.
of this rope bridge right next to you.
Okay.
So the side that you're on, the rope bridge is hanging,
Okay.
and those two spikes are still in the dirt.
All right.
So you have those.
Y'all are gonna watch as the floating loop of rope walks over to one of the spikes and then goes to start tying the rope around the spike to make a kind of rappelling rope bridge. That's a term we use in ROTC that you can like kind of spider crawl across.
Mm-hmm.
She'll start to tie her end of the rope around that. Does that require a check at all?
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check. We've got a lot of little
No.
checks tonight. I like it.
Guidance is still up, yes.
It only counted for one roll.
Damn it.
Checkity check check.
+3 to guidance. 15.
Okay. You feel like it's relatively secure?
Okay. I'm waving, but y'all can't fucking see me.
You hear an owl in your head. Have you secured it? I saw the rope moving. It doesn't seem to be jiggling anymore.
Yep, it's secured on this end if anyone needs to crawl across the rope. Just get it secured on your end.
Well, we need a big, strong person for that.
Or a big strong item. Are there any rocks
Well-
on our side?
I have a +4 to my sleight of hand.
I don't
Aren't
know if that
there-
means,
Aren't
dear,
there
but
spike posts on the other side that held up the bridge?
They kind of got bluted up with the arrow.
When they hit the gunpowder, it just kind of spurted and flew.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is there, but it's not secure in the ground anymore. The rope slipped off of it.
Okay.
Does anybody happen to have a rod of an immovable rod?
oh, I do actually, but I don't want to leave it behind.
Hmm.
Wait, Jonga can fly, right?
Out of character, who is it out of us that can fly?
It should be Chonga.
Yeah.
It should be. I can't
Chonga.
find that in my.
stats.
Yeah, because I can't find that.
Wait, why can't Gerald fly?
Birdfolk cannot fly, they can only glide.
Yeah, so the thing with birdfolk is the reason that, according to the lore, when the Amarantine was formed, and they gave creatures of the wood their intelligence, the sacrifice was the span of their wings. So their wings are no longer good for flying, they are good for gliding. There is a feat that you can get that gives you a little bit of a better chance of actually flying, but it's just really like longer gliding.
Interesting. Legend has it that long ago all of you could have flown over this cavern. Just like
Kind of sad that we've lost
Your
it.
flying speed is 30, Changa.
Really?
If you look under your speed, it says 30 feet walking, click it, and then it says 30 feet flying.
Oh, hello. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Wait, what the hell? Mine has a flying of 60 feet. What?
So that's because it's homebrewed and it doesn't let you put in glide. It only lets you put in
Oh, I see. I
fly.
understand.
So it's not actually flying, it's gliding.
That's how far I can glide. Got it.
Yes, you can glide 60 feet, for 60 feet across, 10 feet down.
so if
For every 60 feet, you're dropping 10 feet.
if Gwen charges up her sonic ball ability, can she like zoom and jump over the? I'm just kidding.
If that's the-
This
Sonic
is
the
not.
Hedgehog.
This is not Sonic the Hedgehog.
If that's the case, the 60 and 10.
And I don't
could-
think you've collected enough gold rings.
Could Showery, in theory, get up about 15 feet and glide across? Since it's only 50-foot cavern?
I mean, if you find a spot that you can climb 50
Oh
feet.
wait, hold on. Do you need help gliding?
If we can get up 15 feet at least, Gerald and I should be able to glide across.
And Chonga, dear, you would also be good.
I believe so. I also have, I think, some jumps
All right.
that
Well,
cover
well-
a bit of distance.
Gwen's gonna pull out the tree charm.
The nest
Tree
charm.
charm.
Yeah, because it's 50 feet high.
It is 50 feet high.
But Gwen is not smart enough to figure out that 50 feet, if you push the tree over, would get us across. So she didn't
Well,
think of
you would have a lot of effort to push the tree over because it is also like 100 feet around.
Yeah. Well, but it also anchors to the ground. So if the ground is weak, it would. I mean, this is Brian talking. This isn't Gwen, because Gwen's like, "Oh, I have a knitting pattern for a squirrel that I haven't used yet." So Gwen's gonna be like, "Oh, well, here. Stand here. You all you flyers, Gerald, Showery." I almost said moth. Chonga.
Y'all want
It
me
was
to change
intentional.
my...
You just want to be moth.
Moth.
That's just your
Perfect.
nickname. How's that?
Moth person.
It's perfect. Moth.
So,
like-
Zinzies, you're standing on the other side of the ravine. You've secured this rope and you're like, all right, guys, find a place to tie it off. And you watch as Gwen goes, oh, wait,
Oh,
and pulls out a charm.
Invisible Gwen.
Oh, that's right. So you don't even watch that. You just watch all of a sudden as a tree, the charm necklace falls to the ground and then whoosh, 50-foot tree. And everyone is standing on it.
Well, that would have been something to tie off to.
That's what I was thinking. You could tie the rope on the tree.
My God.
Gwen stayed on the ground because Gwen can't fly, so it's not going to help her at all.
Tie the rope to the tree.
It's a very thick tree.
Vivian,
Not that big.
Oh no.
Can you help an old woman tie the knot?
Yes, absolutely, I can help.
Oh.
And she'll glide down, I guess. Slap down, start tying
Yes,
the rope
it's
around the
okay.
tree as much as she can.
I mean,
Also,
hang
there's like a
on.
low enough
Chong-
branch that you're able
Hold
to do
on.
because
Cool.
otherwise this just
Wait,
sucks.
Changa can just fly. So she probably
Also-
stayed on the bottom floor.
Rivia, if you can fly, dear, never mind. I've rescind my statement.
Oh, I can glide, but I can't exactly fly.
So you can't get Once you come down from the tree, you
If
can't
I get
get
Can
up
I
onto
hear
the
them all
tree.
speaking?
Yeah,
Are they
you
like,
can
can I
hear
hear
this.
this?
Hey, y'all are 50 feet up in the air. And it's 50 feet across.
Oh,
Zinzi's like invisibly counts on her fingers trying to do like fucking algebra.
Can't you
Um,
just like glide down at an angle?
Technically, I
That's
think we
the
could.
plan.
let me know when you've all made it. Also, if there's any archers, you better not shoot at us, because we'll come get you.
Thank you. I would like to do another perception check in the direction that we got
I would
shot
like
from
to
the
do a
first time.
perception check as well.
Make perception checks.
I'll do it too. Why not?
Just
Oh,
like
Natural one.
Oh,
You don't see shit.
mine went in the ashtray.
Zinzi's, you see butterflies.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
So Rivia, I rescind my statement. But Gwen is gonna be like, "Oh, go on, dear. Don't worry about little old me. I can't fly, but I certainly can wave at you across the thing." Just kidding, dear.
Are you sure?
I have a plan. I have a plan, but I need to retrieve the nest charm first.
Okay.
You don't see any creatures. You do see one set of small boot prints.
Small.
Not
Interesting.
like terribly small, but
Like halfling small ish. Like
halflings
in,
are
just
not
in
a thing
size.
here. Like
Right.
adolescents.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
We can reform another one.
That's over by the tower, you said? Or is that just near us?
That's over where you saw because you were looking specifically where you got shot from.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually don't see anything from where you got shot from. You see it from like 10 feet further down, closer to where like Zinzi's is. There's a set of prints that are heading out and away, and kind of
So on the other
ducked
side.
among some of the rocks that are up there.
Oh, I understand now. Okay, I thought the arrow came from our side, not the other side. But
So
right.
So the arrow did come from your side. On the
Oh.
other side, there's a set of footprints that were ducking through the.
Oh, okay.
Wait, it came from behind us?
No, sorry. I'm sorry. So both of them are actually on the other side. My brain is like totally flipped how this cavern looks, and I don't know why.
But which side
But like,
are we? No, I'm kidding.
so it's like you saw the. If you're facing the cliff, there is the path. The ravine went through here, and then it's like an intersection because there's still like a pathway that goes forward, and on the upper right hand side where you saw the arrow coming from, there's nothing on that cliff. On the other side, there is.
So across the ravine to
So
the
they're
right.
both across, and then there's like it's like a 4-way intersection.
Okay. I will call out, or not call out, message out to Zinzi's that to her right should be some prints. Maybe she should look at them while the rest of us
That's
are
way
on
up
our way.
high on the. You can only see it because
Oh.
you're on a 50-foot tree. That's way at the top. So there's ravine. There's
Okay.
the level that you guys were at, and then there's cliffs above you. You got shot from
Alright.
above.
I know you can't see me, but I'm down here, not up there.
Right. My bad. Ignore me.
Take your time. I know it's a very
It is really complicated, which is why I'm trying to describe it as best as I can.
I can start scaling the cliff if you want me to check it out.
I'll be right back, dears.
No, it's okay. Maybe we should wait for most of us to get over there.
How are you guys gonna go over here? I set up a rope for y'all. Now you just use the nest charm. Why?
Did not know that existed. Just suddenly there was a tree out from under me, and this is how. YOLO! And I'm gonna just jump and glide,
All right.
and just go to where I think Zinzi's is, because I can't see her.
She did not leave the side of the post.
Okay. So just over by the rocks.
So that was her last known location.
You were able to get there. Gerald, what
Just
are you
like
doing?
that.
He's just standing here watching all of these things, all the shouting, all the things that are transpiring. He's sitting there going like, okay. After he sees Showery get to the other side, he will sort of make sure he gets a good jump, and he will also glide. He gets like he gets like a small bit extra. I think because he's a swift strike, he gets a little bit extra, but not by much. He doesn't need it. He can make the jump.
Swift strike.
Yes.
All right, you were able to get there.
And he is immediately going to look in the direction. Once he lands, he's going to sort of crouch down, look in the direction of where they were shot from.
The direction that they were shot from?
Yes.
There already was a perception check on it. You can also,
Yeah.
if you'd like.
Yeah, he understands it. Depends on where he's seen them, but he also is like, okay, I'm going to try and figure out where they may have run off to.
If you're trying to figure out that, then you can make a survival check instead of perception.
Cool. That's a little bit better. 21.
21. It looks like if there was someone over there, there's a lot of different crags and rocks formations that someone could easily have ducked behind. Like I said, there's no footprints up there, not that you're close enough to really get a good look. But on that particular side, where the shots came from, there's no footprints. It just seems like there's a lot of places where someone could easily have ducked down and around. And if you look far enough into the distance, it looks like there's a decrepit... You can see, like... Because it's not even like you can see all of it. All you can really see is, like... It looks like wood with, like, canvas. In the distance.
We're getting closer. Can I tell about how far away that is from me? Still a ways off, or is it, like, beyond, like, some
Still a
cliffs?
couple hours travel.
Well, at least we're going in the right direction. Sort of looks around at the crevices. I have an idea, but I want everyone to get over on this side before I do the thing.
Changa, you are muted.
I know. I had a
Okay.
question, and then the question started to leave me, and I watched it fade away.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate that.
Okay, came back. How long exactly is this ravine?
The ravine is 50 feet across. And if anyone is looking, it is 170 feet deep.
I meant to ask to look down, but I figured, I was too excited to try and get across, so my moment passed.
So that would have been fun if you had not noticed the gunpowder.
That would have been a
The realization hit all at once.
big fall. Big bada boom.
Oh,
From
God.
where you would have been, to make it easier for anyone who's at home, that would have been a 150-foot drop, which is 15d6.
Yeah.
15d6 damage.
Though, 1, 2, 3, 4 of us would be fine, because we could glide and or fly down.
Maybe.
Maybe. Could possibly be fine.
This is a lot. This is a lot to take in, my guy. Broskies.
I'm actually
It's
a
a
little
lot.
bit happy that you ruined my plans, because it could have been really bad.
It could have been very
We don't-
bad.
Yeah, we don't want a TPK before the time skip.
It would not have been a
No.
TPK. I was very careful with my math.
Oh,
Would have been a lot of unconscious people, though.
Oh my God. Okay.
Even if you
Anyway.
rolled all 6s.
Anyway.
If you rolled all 6s.
How are you getting across, Gwen?
Felt that.
As you sit there with your McDonald's. Oh, sorry, Taco Bell.
Oh.
My bad.
No, you thought it was got nacho fries, because nacho fries are back. But they don't have nacho fries spelled grande, and I'm sad.
No nacho fries, dear. No, just the cinnamon twist. Puff spores, if you will. Hello, Jerome. Fair tidings to you. This is your fairy hedge, mother. Make sure you're eating your vegetables.
Oh my goodness.
Stop being so goddamn cute, you two.
No, keep going. Live your best life.
Never stop.
All right.
So mean.
Listen, you're surrounded by single people.
True.
Or presumably single people.
Oh, I'm so single.
This is why I'm vibe checking Caesar tomorrow.
I think the important distinction is how many people are upset that they're single and how many people are fine with it.
Flip
The
flop
people that are
every
fine
day.
with it are not going to be upset about the couple being a couple.
I'm with
True.
Paige. And like some days I'm like, yeah. Some days I'm like, shit.
Hey,
Honestly,
There's
even if it
some
hurts,
days
I'm
I
still
don't
happy
give a
for my
shit, and
friends.
then there's some days I cry over a tub of ice cream going, God, I wish that I could do that.
I'm more
Mhm.
upset that I don't have a cat than a partner. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair.
I want a fluffy baby to cuddle with. I don't need a human being.
I'll be honest, I'm upset that I don't have $20 million.
Hmm.
Oh, me
Feel
too.
I could snuggle that all day.
Moving on, Brian, how is Gwen getting across?
Has everyone else glided and or landed safely?
No, I'm still on the other side, and I think everyone is still up in the tree.
Why does just
Gerald
like-
and Shari have both glided across. Rivia, we will find out when Rivia comes back.
Okay.
So right now, Chonga and Rivia and yourself are still on the original side.
Gwen's just sort of like pouring a cup of tea into her thermos cup and like sipping, waiting for everybody to fly over. Glorious day.
Okay, I have jump thingies because my flight is 30 feet. This
So
thing
that
is-
means that your movement, so it's like you can walk 30 feet in one round. You can fly 30 feet in one round. So it'll take you 2 rounds to get across, but you're able to fly the full 50 feet.
Yeah.
Okay,
So like that's a
Still only
combat
12
thing, really.
seconds.
okay.
You can fly, but you're really flashy about it. You're like,
Okay. I'm just trying to, because I haven't flown. I've done the little moth scuttle thing, where you kind of panic flutter. I'm gonna fly across, but I'm gonna keep myself over the rope, so in case I fall at any point for any reason at all, I have the rope to land on.
Because you have a flight speed, you're able to get across safely without any issue.
Yay! Cool. But I will, when I land, is Zinzi still invisible?
Zinzi, you were invisible for like an hour, right?
Yep, or until Gwen drops the spell. Or until I
Or-
attack or get attacked.
Yep.
I will just kind of say, thank you, Zinzi's. The rope was actually very useful.
Where did you land to?
Just down across where the rope is tied.
So like right.
You
in
hear
between
a
your two
voice
posts.
right next to you. You're welcome! Ah!
Oh, there she is.
Just rolls, lands, like wings vibrate. Right.
We need to put a bell on you.
Gwen's the one who turned me invisible.
This is true.
It's true. Oh yeah, Gwen is also invisible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Rivia, are you gonna glide across from the tree?
Yes. I apologize. I had to use the restroom.
You are all
Girl, me too. Our dinner.
So good.
Bodies have functions. You can't help it.
Right?
I'm like so freaking full. I was so full, I had to like just lay down for a little bit because my body felt like it was gonna explode. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I don't feel like I'm gonna burst open.
You are lucky, Gerald, that it's mithril half plate that you have, or else you would not have been able to glide. Because plate prevents gliding, and having a shield equipped prevents gliding. Just so you are aware. I had a double check.
That is good to know.
I didn't even think of it till now, but everyone's wearing leathers, so we're good, except for the mithril. But mithril is light.
Who?
Mithril is cheating. Let's be fair. Mithril is cheating.
Technically, I don't think that would count, but that would just suck. So mithril gets
And
to
I-
survive.
I paid for it. I could use it.
I do use a shield, so that's good information.
You can use a shield. It's just that you
Just
cannot
not
use
while
it as part of
flying.
your AC. If you're gliding, you have to put the shield away first.
Just fucking frisbee that shield across the ravine.
Yeah,
Captain
just
America.
round it out like Captain America's shield.
Rivia, did you say you decided to glide across?
Yep.
All right, now Gwen, you are on your lonesome, next to a tree.
It's been really nice. No, I'm kidding. Gwen is going to hold tight with the rope. Dismiss the charm so the tree shrinks down back into the charm to be used another day. And then she's going to look at the ravine and go, tally ho! And she's going to jump, holding onto the rope
While invisible.
while invisible.
Oh no. Oh no.
Gwen,
If I could.
you do realize this is the rope I tied to the other end, right? And it's not secure on your end. You are
You
not
think
that's the
gonna
point?
land on the other ledge.
Are you serious? As she's like jumping off of the cliff?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast Featherfall.
Oh wait,
You have to have visual line to cast Featherfall, and Gwen is invisible.
All we see is a rope going slack and then
no.
meow.
Yep.
Oh no.
Gwen, as you are trying to Tarzan with this rope.
Into the cliff, by the way.
Hence Tarzan. No, sorry, you're right. It shouldn't be Tarzan. As you're trying to George
George.
Jungle
The
your way
jungle.
with this rope, I would like you to make an athletics check to see if you can still hold on when the line goes taut.
all right.
You're just going straight down into the ravine. I hope you know that.
It was so nice having you. I really one of the
It's been a
best
pleasure.
characters
That's
that
a,
I've played with.
that is
That's a
a
what?
5.
Take off your invisibility right freaking now. Oh my
I
god.
need you really quick to
Mhm.
make me a dexterity saving throw. And we'll see how well you roll this one to see if we need another one.
Four.
I'm burning my inspiration
Oh
for
no
you
no
to reroll that.
no, it's okay.
Nope, it's already burnt.
No, because I have a spell that I can cast to get me out of this. So, and that was my plan, my backup plan. I'm going to be like, oh no, and then
So, from everyone else's perspective, you hear tally ho and watch the rope get thrown into the chasm. And there's a moment where it goes taut and you're like, oh, she was holding it.
Oh no.
And then it goes limp.
Oh no.
And then you watch a little bit of like, almost like something whacked into the hanging rope bridge that was your dexterity saving throw to see if you can catch it.
Oh no.
But that also doesn't seem to hold tension. Gwen, you've got
Thunderstep.
one round.
Thunderstep.
Thunderstep. Okay.
So Gwen just like, ugh, that would have been so cool if it worked. And then disappears, and like a thundering boom echoes through the canyon, and Gwen appears beside Zinzi's, but like fully visible.
Yeah, they're both fully visible at this point, wouldn't they be?
Oh dear.
Hold on, I'm looking up the spell real quick.
You just realized you gave our position away to everything in the
Yeah,
next,
you disappear.
I don't know, 10
Thunderous
miles?
boom sounds, and every creature within 10 feet of the space you left must make a Constitution saving throw. Doesn't matter.
We all have to make con saves.
And
Oh,
you
boy.
are nope, because it's 10 feet from where the thunder happened, which was further away, because she had fallen already about 50 feet. And then she's able to reappear 90 feet from where she fell. So she is able to.
You
land
could have
next to
cast it
Zinzi.
from across the ravine.
Yes.
I know, dear, but what is life without a bit of drama? Also, I'm glad you're all okay.
Gwendolyn, why
Gwen,
in the world would you do that?
Gwen,
Well,
you knew that the rope wasn't secured above us, it was secured below us. And you still jumped into the ravine.
Shaori kneels down in front of Gwendolyn.
and
Grabs her
Zinzi's
face.
reappears at this moment because the spell's gone.
If you ever do that to us again, we will kill you.
all right. Well, good thing we have a cleric with us. And she like pats her cheek. She starts to waddle away and goes, besides, I think the gunpowder gave away our location anyway.
Zinzi
So-
throws up her paws in frustration.
Well, shall we continue a little bit more stealthy?
Yes,
Can
please.
sure try.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Who's that?
Some kind of,
Zinzi
kind of
and
guy I read
Shanga
in the
just
book.
point to each other.
He's some-
The dragon
some-
mantis comes out. Emerald comes out and does.
Click, click, click.
he's
click,
some
click.
kind of guy that I read in a book.
And Zinzi's just leans close to Changa.
Do we have like the same mind?
We might be coming. We might
My
be
God.
becoming. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. Oh no, I don't want to be a flesh thing. I don't want. And then she like backs away and starts to walk like with icky hands and like all of her arms are like, ugh. She's like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
let
want to be
that
a flesh
insult
thing.
slide.
It's
not
okay,
an
Chuck.
insult. It's not an insult to you. You all are flesh things, and it's very disturbing. To
It's okay,
me.
Changa. It's more likely that Zinzi's turning into an insect. They have more hive minds than us fleshies do.
Guys, I don't think you realize how borderline racist this sounds. I don't like it. I like to keep prejudice out of my D&D.
It's not prejudice. She just thinks scientifically the difference between an exoskeleton and blood and bones is weird. Like when you think about human
Since he
beings
still
and how
says,
they
I'm gonna
operate
let
is
that
weird.
insult slide.
Okay, I assure you, I do not mean it in any prejudice or mean way. I mean it in a scientifically that is weird way.
Amazing.
Which I hope translates now that I've given the explanation.
Alice, it's all good. We played with Brian, who had a moderately
Oh, yeah.
racist
Flortma.
high elf
Yeah.
Right.
as his character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flortma hated everyone in the party except Darren. Because Darren was a
He,
fellow
didn't,
elf.
he was faster to trust Darren than everyone else because Darren was
That's a little not nice.
I love that though. Our brains just did the same.
Yeah, I know.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Some guy I read in a leather-bound book with like golden pages. It's very interesting.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole spiel of it. Hang on. If Jesus was
see,
in the
if it-
Humblewood universe, what animal would he be?
Awesome.
Luma.
He'd be a possum.
He would be a hybrid of a lion and a lamb.
Oh no. I think he would be a lamb
A
the
lamb.
whole time. It's a very common animal. It's very simple, and the whole time they refer to him
He's
biblically
just very
The lamb.
and
Actually,
then
Fluffy.
and other stuff. Ha!
Has fluff.
what if he was a fainting goat? Because they pretend.
Painting goat? Huh?
Yeah, they just like their defense mechanism is they just like seize up and they look like they're dead, and then they come back to life and they're like,
Granted,
I feel like
like
that'd be
him as
one
a
of his
visiting,
the
Luma, which is
apostles.
dope.
Meanwhile, I'm cracking up over my newest favorite reaction photo from Turning Red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay,
That
look, it
was
was an
so
amazing
cute.
movie. Anyway, getting back on topic.
Yes. Yeah, so you guys are all across. You've regathered your charm. I have to double check, but I think the charm needs to be a once a day thing. So I think you do not have that charge if you wanted to sleep tonight.
I do need to rest before we go to rest for the night. Just so you know.
Right.
But the adrenaline from jumping, oh my goodness, look at my clothes.
Are
My
you all right?
clothes. Yes, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yes, it's sometimes you just need to do things to feel alive. It's fine. It's all right.
Nearly died? Sure.
Oh, there was no chance that I would die. Slim to none chance.
Antennas go down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Moderate to slim to none.
At least when we YOLO, we have wings.
Well, I could also burrow into the side of them.
Could you do it that quickly?
I'm sure I could, probably.
It cannot
was
be
a
used again
lot.
until the next dawn.
Yeah. But if I short rest, I can get back some of my spell slots, and I have Lehman's tiny hat.
Okay. Are you guys
Oh,
taking a
okay.
short rest here, or are you guys going to continue forward?
You can continue forward if you like.
Yeah, maybe continue on a little bit and then find a safe spot to rest.
Yeah.
Because resting right next to the place that we got a bridge blown up is a little sus.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So you continue forward. Anyone want to do anything as you are traveling?
I'm going to look out for any sneaky peoples. Yeah, any kind of dangers.
Roll me a perception check.
I will do that too.
Perception.
Because
Okay.
why not? Let's be thorough.
Perception.
I would also like to roll perception, please.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay.
That's a 12.
12. Okay.
Hey.
What did you roll?
Brian, is that a
Now I
natural
get a
20?
natural 20.
Oh my god.
That would have been so much cooler in the ravine, but that's alright.
It was funny, and that's what matters.
Gwen just like jumps over, ninja climbs up, does like a lasso move, whips it around Gerald, and like spins him in and like hits him, and then like, I made it, sugar. Sorry, I had Taco Bell tonight, so.
So you
I love
guys
that. That's
are,
Right.
as you're traveling, it comes to a certain part after about another hour, where it's almost like you are in a tented tunnel where the cliffs on either side have converged, and there is still this cut deep into the mountains. And you are all traveling. It's very echoey in here. And Gwen, as you were traveling, right before you reach the end, you notice that as you're walking and the sun enters the cave, you almost see this tiny little glint in the corner of part of the wall.
I would like to investigate.
Roll me an investigation.
Not like living thing glitch, right?
No,
We're talking like treasure glitch?
it's too stagnant for that.
These are online dice. I'm online dicing.
Oh no.
7!
Okay. But it's off of a natural 20. So, you head over to the area, and it's like you're trying to re-find where that glint was.
Mhm.
And you're like, I see it, but then you get closer and you're like, where'd it go? And then you see it, and then where'd it go? And eventually you just start like feeling around with your fingers, and as you do so, because again, you rolled a natural 20, you knock a small leather pouch off of, and it's not even like it's high up, it's more like it's deep into the wall.
Okay.
A small leather pouch falls out of the space, and when it falls, it tumbles, and a few gold pieces fall out of it.
Oh dear, this is some good fortune.
At least it's not gunpowder.
Open the pouch.
Sure.
You open the pouch, and there is a good chunk of gold in this little pouch, as well as a small box. And along the side, there looks to be like a case, like that big, that is attached to the side. So it's a bag full of gold, a tiny little box inside of it, and a longer case.
I will take a look at this when we get to a place where we can sit down.
So you're just pocketing it for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What time is it in the game?
It's about 4.
Oh, so it's only been like an hour since the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you all mind if we just took a tea break for maybe 30 minutes or so?
I could go for a tea break.
I would love a cup of tea, and I'd be happy to help you identify whatever you just found.
Why don't we split the work?
Great. Now that we're doing a rest, I have time for a ritual cast as well.
No, I think I'd like a cup of tea as well.
Oh, all right. Gwen starts setting up a little tea kettle for the party, and in the meantime is casting Identify as a ritual.
Okay.
She's-
So that
she's-
adds 10 minutes to your rest because you cannot rest while casting spells.
Right.
But which one are you casting it on? What are you casting it on? Because there's two little containers. The long thing.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do the long, and I'll give Showery the short one.
Are you opening the container at all, or are you just casting it on the container?
I'm
Do
gonna
I
say
have a detect magic? I do not have detect magic on.
I could cast it as a ritual. We could be here for an hour.
No, I'm just gonna do I'm gonna do a regular identify on the box, and then I'll ritual identify what's in the box.
Okay. It is a box.
Is is Gwen's a box also?
It is also a box.
Okay. Well, I have more time this evening.
Shari, you open it. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Didn't search for traps.
Oh, fuck. Saving throw. Shit. I don't know if I want to use my 17 yet. 13?
13. You take...
Oh, no.
No, sorry. This is a small thing. Yeah, you take 5 points of poison damage as a little dart goes flying past and just grazes your cheek.
Oh,
It's like a it looks almost like a toothpick. It's just tiny because this box is small.
oh. Careful when you open yours. That hurt?
Oh!
Oops. 5 negative. Is there anything in the box?
You open the box and there seems to be a ring inside of it. It's a decent sized ring. It's got what looks almost like a blue and silver shield on the front.
Okay. Not touching the ring. That is when I do my ritual cast of Identify.
Okay. While you're doing that, because that takes 10 minutes, Gwen, are you opening your box?
No!
You could open it facing away from you.
She's gonna hand it over to Shower and be like, tell you what, dear, open it facing me. That's fine. Just identify it first. It's just a box on the outside.
Sure.
Are you opening the case now?
No, because I'm in the middle of a ritual cast.
Okay, so you finish ritual casting. By the way, I'd like to point out you've got rogues in the party who can do things like check for traps. I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is the DM breaking the fourth wall, going, "Hey guys!"
Yeah, what the hell, Gerald? Where were you on that one?
No one asked Gerald. Gerald's over there keeping an eye out for stuff, and he kind of looks like chilling by a tree while they're fucking around with their box.
Shari, you cast Identify on the ring, and it is a ring of protection.
Very nice.
Better use that ring when you open the box.
Hey, Gerald, could you check this? And I'm just going to huck the box at Gerald.
Ah!
Mine had a poison dart in it. Be careful.
Wait.
Excellent. And he'll take out his thieves' tools and stuff.
First, this box is locked, so first roll sleight of hand for unlocking it. Although checking for I mean, it goes either way.
Yeah.
I'll let Brian know, or I'll let Gwen know what the ring is, and then see if she wants it, or if she would be willing to give it to someone else who's more in need. Whoever that may be.
30-20 on my
Dirty
sleight of
20?
hand.
You're able to pop it open pretty easily. And
Hold
it
it.
is trapped.
Okay. Can I see?
Just
Do I
because
see
you
a way?
rolled a freaking dirty 20.
Do I see a way where I can deactivate the trap? Like if I have to open it a certain amount and then push the thing?
There's a tiny little wire around the latch that roll another sleight of hand to see if you can.
I rolled the dirty 20 again.
Yeah, you're able to
216,
unhook it
yay.
and open it up. Looks almost like there was like a little pouch of like powder in there that if you pulled it open, it would have poofed.
Oh, that would have sucked. Got it. He'll take out whatever's in whatever the other thing
You
inside.
open it up, and it looks to be a long, thin wand.
I found a wand.
Oh.
Good
May I?
luck, Gerald. Way to go.
He'll hand over that, and he'll see. This is more like for a flavor thing. Would he be able to see if he can remove the pouch of poison of whatever the fuck this is?
Sure. Roll for me. Roll another sleight of hand. We'll just 3 for 3.
We're not quite as good. 18.
Yeah, you're able to just have a add to your inventory half dose of mystery powder. Or 1 dose of mystery powder. Just add that as a custom item.
Okay.
To forego the rest and do another ritual cast on the wand.
You cast ritual cast on the wand, and it is a wand of magic missile.
Ooh. Can I have this, Gwen? Thank you. Much appreciated.
Oh dear.
I have a feeling this will come in very handy.
My hands are usually occupied anyway.
True, I know the feeling.
All right, well, I certainly feel well rested. How's everyone else doing? Zinzies, are you all right?
Good.
I really wish I could have seen you flying over the cavern. That was quite a move.
By the way, how are you getting that tree charm back?
This one?
Oh, I literally did not notice that you'd gotten it back.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I just
that one. You don't have to wait the 8 hours. You can speak a command word, and it'll shrink back. It just means that you won't be able to use it until the next dawn.
Okay. I thought you like swan dove off the top of the tree.
Oh. No, that would have been cool though.
You still would not have. You still would have just gone down in the ravine.
That would have been
That would have lowered that would have raised the DC to hold on to the
Oh my
rope by
God.
a lot. Not that
Oh,
it would
no.
have mattered. You rolled a fucking 4.
I think Zenzi's was so focused on watching that rope fall, she didn't notice that the tree charm was already gone.
just a little baby heart attack for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Rubia dear, are you doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing just fine. I'm kind of just sitting and listening. You know.
Make a
You never
perception
know.
check as you're listening then.
Mm-hmm.
Always check to make sure if you have an inspiration, because we've gotten a lot of
14. 14.
Ooh.
You're listening, and other than the sounds of the members of your group, you don't hear anything. It's almost eerie because you're used to the sounds of the forest, where vast trees lead to a lot of wildlife. And there's not really any birds up here. There's some trees. I mean, but they're sparse and, really dug into the rock. But there's not really much wildlife. You still hear the occasional bird, the occasional growl of something in the distance.
I don't hear anything at the moment, but I will still keep a lookout in case we need it. You never know with these kinds of things. It's a little too quiet for my kind of taste.
This is a very strange corridor. The mountain is above us and below us. It's fascinating.
About how long are we resting for?
Because
asked
you
the
guys
group.
have to use your identify, it is closer to technically short rests are supposed to be an hour. I shorten them to a half hour because
Okay, well, I'm
otherwise
not
you
actually
can't
taking the
do it.
rest because I'm using the ritual cast.
Oh, okay,
So
so
it's
you're the
however
only one
long
who
the
did ritual
group is.
cast? So
Correct.
then it's only about 30-40 minutes.
Okay. In the 10-ish minutes I have left, I'm going to take out my pan flute since it's so quiet and just whistle a little tune. Soft, mimic thaumaturgy, very soft, very quiet.
Make a performance check.
All right. Ooh,
Someone pulls out an instrument, both of the bars.
19.
19.
Yeah,
It's a
15
nice
plus 4.
calming melody. It's very, very peaceful. It's nice.
This would be the first time Shaori has played in front of Gerald. She's played in front of other people in the group, but not Gerald before. She's always
Alright.
hidden her instruments.
I just wanted to take Emerald and kind of like do a little drum beat that goes along with the pan, and then just wait to have them do it for the song. Does the little guy need to roll a performance check?
Gerald sort of just nods his head and on the beat he'll swing he'll push his dictation to also sort of dampen the sound a bit, just so that the group can hear it. He'll strum a accompaniment with the lute and just sort of hum along.
Okay. I'm not going to have you all roll performance checks. We already had one.
Gwen's gonna use Infestation and Druidcraft together to create sort of like this halo of fireflies, which just sort of like floats around us, not attacking anyone, but like just kind of like.
That's such a vibe.
We got
Yeah,
tea, we
go
got
a little
fireflies, we
deeper.
got a little song.
We're hippies.
We're
Yes.
hippies.
Absolutely.
You know what song we're singing though?
Hippies
No.
and the
Two
lone
lovers
cop.
forbidden from one
My
another.
brain. My brain.
War divides their people,
people.
and the mountain divides them apart. Build a path to be together. I forget the name of a couple of lines, but then it goes, secret tunnel, secret tunnel, through the mountains, secret tunnel. Yeah.
We are not nerds at all.
I did not grab this fast enough. Oh my god.
All right. So, as you finish your music and prepare, put your things away and get ready to continue forward. Anything you guys like to do on this next leg of the journey?
Yeah.
Clean my
Quite.
guns. Oh, I'm cleaning my guns during my short rest again.
Okay. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't forget you had that bonus from the last clean.
What?
Your misfire is when you use your specials with your misfire, it's 2 instead of 1, or it's instead of 2 it's back to 1.
Let me check if I made a note of that.
I think
For the
you-
next week, violent shot misfire is only 2. Yeah.
it's that.
Got it.
I thought I had a different spell prepared, but apparently I don't. So I'm gonna do locate object, and I'm just gonna focus on one facet of the gentleman who we are trying to find.
Alden.
yeah, Alton's like boots or
What?
his belt buckle or his
You have to have seen those before, right?
You guys have met Alden.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I will throw out there, though. Someone has been pretending to be Alden.
True.
You don't know how much was left with him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll still try it. Just in the hopes.
What are you looking for specifically?
What do I remember of them?
Of Alden?
Yeah.
He is a peregrine falcon raptor. He wears a perch guard uniform while in town, but you have seen him as he's come back from outside of town, where he wears more earthy, less labeled leathers.
Okay.
He has a rather pretty looking bow.
Did the
Um,
fake one have that bow on?
because you saw him at was supposed to be a dinner event, did not see a bow on him.
Okay. I will focus on the bow. I mean, the
Um,
range I think is like
1,000 feet, right?
yeah, it's 1,000 feet, so it's not very.
And how long does it last?
10 minutes. So
10 minutes?
this is a shot in the dark, but
I'll say as you guys are traveling now, are you traveling stealthily? Are you traveling at regular speed? Are you guys just running? Are you chilling?
I'm voting for stealthy.
yeah, I mean, stealthy's fine.
Stealthy is
When you,
probably a good idea.
Okay, I will say when you first activate it, you do not sense the bow.
Okay.
You don't necessarily know what that means, but you know the bow is not within 1,000 feet of you.
Gwen's just kind of like concentrating on it for about 10 minutes. And just kind of like humming Secret Tunnel. Like. Really quietly.
Okay.
So quietly you can't even hear it.
If you guys are all traveling stealthily, then please make stealth checks.
Where was that earlier?
Are we in a wooded or forested area?
This would be considered cliffside or
Okay, so
mountainous. I think mountainous is more accurate.
Alrighty.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
15. Because I get advantage on stealth with one of my cloaks.
All right.
23.
11.
11.
11!
20. 7. 27.
27, okay.
I had to, my brain. I'm like, wait, brain.
All right. Ouch. Oh, my knees.
Gwen got a naughty 19 with that.
19. All right. So the lowest was 11 and the highest was 23.
27.
27. Okay. All right. So you guys feel relatively stealth that you guys are traveling along. And after about I'll say you're coming very close to the 10-minute mark when you start to feel that slight tug forward.
I think we found him.
Which direction?
Gather round.
Huddle up.
Huddle, cuddle. And Gwen is just gonna start.
Zinzi's, because she's the smallest, is right in the middle of the huddle.
So, do you speak into the necklace, or is it like more of a telepathic kind of thing?
I believe we said that you have to speak into it.
Okay. So Gwen's gonna take the necklace and whisper into it. All right, everyone.
We can use stage whispers. You can
Okay.
actually.
I'm whispering.
Because we're all huddled and she's right there whispering into it. Does her voice like double effect for
Oh,
us?
this is like you're in the same room with someone who, like your mom's like, did you find your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm detecting a piece of our target's wardrobe nearby. And again, I'm whispering, even though it sounds quite loud, because I can hear myself.
We're right here in front of.
And Zenzi's doesn't like whisper back in her necklace.
We're right here in front of you. Why are you whispering into it?
It's so you can hear me better, dear, because I'm actually
You're overloading my senses.
sorry. It's
It's kind of displaced by a second. I can't understand a single thing you're saying.
I'm just gonna pat Gwen's back. It's okay. Just whisper. We don't need to use the necklaces here.
Exasperated sigh.
No, because seriously, I've had moments where I hear double voice effects and it's displaced by a second. I literally cannot understand when anyone is talking. So Zenzi's has the same problem.
Yeah, I feel that, especially with D&D and trying to set up a Zoom call where like two people are in the same room and they don't know how to mute it properly. Anyway, Gwen's basically just gonna be like, our target is nearby, and we need to come up with a plan now. It's our hour of action.
Well, before it goes away, which direction is it? Where we are?
Chester, in the general direction.
You are
Thanks.
able to
Memorizing.
indicate that it. You know that you're coming up onto like a corner that'll turn, and it's pulling towards past that corner.
Got it.
God. I actually do have locate creature. It's just a 4th level spell.
Right? Okay. So Showery's gonna take 1 minute and cast Augury. And ask. Okay, I have a question, but I need to make sure that it's something that I can ask.
Okay.
Okay, I think I can ask it. So I sit down and I roll out my bones and my gems, and I ask Gismi if we follow this path around the corner and follow the tug of Gwen's magic, will we be ambushed?
Well, I can try to kind of be ahead of you all and really listen. To see if, before we come up on anything, to see if there's anyone hiding.
suggestion.
Rivia, as you offer that suggestion shower, you get a response that is neither positive nor negative.
Okay. I think we have the opportunity to be ambushed, but it's not necessarily around the corner.
Right. Well,
That's my understanding of my gesture.
I can cast invisibility on 3 people this time.
Well, Rivio should definitely be one of them, I believe.
I can also cast invisibility. On how many people? I don't quite recall.
If you can do it on 3, then we are all invisible.
Yes, it's if you use more powerful level.
Peer around the corner.
Not yet.
DM speak.
What'd you say?
It's a DM speak. Is anyone going to peer around the corner?
I feel like
Not
now
yet.
might be a good time for Rivia or Gerald to look.
I can look.
Are you
You should-
sneakily?
Do you guys want to make me invisible first, or?
I was gonna say.
I can make you invisible.
Okay.
Are you just targeting one person?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
Wait, are you a
Doesn't-
warlock?
Huh?
Are you what's your class?
Artificer.
I'm an artificer.
Oh, artificer. Okay.
So I have a certain number of spells,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not uber spell person.
Yeah, it's okay.
It doesn't say anything about how many people I can do.
Let me take a look at your sheet here.
Yeah. It says that I can touch somebody and they'll turn invisible.
I'm still here. Just let you know. I'm still here.
At second level, a creature you touch, you do not have a high enough spell slot to target more than one creature.
Okay, that's
you
fair.
need third level spell slots to target at least 2, and you only have second level, so you can only do it to 1.
That makes
I
sense.
will also be right back. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself, on Gerald, and on Zinzi's. So basically, it just looks like, oh no, these 2 innocent beings are in this cave. Whatever will they do? I'm talking about Shari and
Changa?
Changa. Yeah.
Moth and owl.
Yeah,
I
I'll
will-
cast invisibility on Rivia, so that's up to an hour.
Yep. Gerald,
And
Zinzi's.
those are concentration. Just
Yep.
keep that in mind.
Here, B. I'm still here. I can respond via phone.
I will stealthily peer around the corner.
All right, roll a stealth check with advantage.
Yeah. That's a nat 20.
Woohoo!
Woo! On the
You peek
first roll.
your head around the corner with nary a peep, and you see maybe 15 feet away, tucked, hidden in this alcove in the mountains, is what looks like an old, decrepit windmill. It looks like chances are before rock slides happened, this was a decent channel to for the air to kind of push through, and since topography changes, it no longer is very effective. There's no breeze blowing it right now. This thing is old. This is architecture that you don't really see much.
Yeah, she'll look at it. Can she hear anything?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 18.
Are you getting any closer to the building?
She will take a couple of steps.
You don't hear anything outside of the building. I'll say with your stealth check, if you wanted to get closer, I will allow it without any further
Sure,
checks.
I will do that. I will get closer and see if I can like see anything or hear anything that might be inside.
So there's no real windows at this level because a
That's fair.
windmill wouldn't need them at first level. But if you listen against the door, you do hear some voices. Can't
Can I
quite
hear
make
what
out
they're saying? Okay.
Not with an 18. They're very quiet. It's very muffled.
She'll very slowly and quietly walk back around the corner back to her friends. Just go, hey, everyone, just to let you know, there is a like an old decrepit windmill around the corner. But there are people inside of the windmill. I don't know what they were saying, but I did hear mumbling and talking.
No.
Were you able to see the mouths moving?
Nope, there's no windows on the bottom floor.
Hmm.
I couldn't see them at all.
Hmm. Huh.
So whatever we want to do, take that information as we will.
Could you estimate how many? At least some, at least how many?
Do I know how many I could estimate from?
Make an intelligence check, just based on how many. I'll be able to tell you how many voices you heard depending on your intelligence check.
Yeah, that's a 4.
A 4? Couldn't tell.
I rolled a 3.
It was very sparse. Not a lot of talking at all. And whatever talking there was very hushed, and it was hard to determine any of it.
Yeah,
Extremely hushed, actually.
I couldn't tell. It was very difficult to hear through the door.
Hmm. There's only one entrance?
From what I could see, there's just a door.
Hmm.
Question, DM, is this just one door?
Just one door?
Yeah. Can I go back out and peek my head back around the corner and see if there's anything beyond it? Or if there's like another cavern, you know?
Are you going
Or
all
is
the way
this a
around
dead end?
the windmill?
No, I just want to peek my head around the corner and see if I can see anything.
It looks like it's pretty closed off. It probably was like a natural wind tunnel at some point, but behind the windmill is all collapsed.
Okay.
Landslides,
She'll-
avalanches, all that jazz.
She'll come back. By the way, it's kind of a dead end that way. It used to be like a wind tunnel, but it's all collapsed. So we do have the option to go back and try and find another route. Or we can go in and see who's in there and probably end up fighting somebody.
Oh, a fight's probably on the table.
I would prefer to stay away from violence.
That would be nice. I could go along to the side, and I have a spell called Shatter. I could try and shatter down one of the side walls. That would create a
Bless you.
bit of, well, to be fair, I could either cause a distraction or bring the entire thing down. Now that I think about it.
That would be quite a distraction, but
It was
could kill
old,
our target.
so
Fairly old. Maybe as an exit strategy. Once
Agreed.
we've secured Alden.
Agreed.
plus that's it's not to say that if we did do that, that it wouldn't cause like a cave-in.
Keeping our options open.
You know, if we need a distraction, I am quite strange. I think if I were to greet those people and you know, when I met you all and gave my spiel of I don't know where I am, easily do that. They would be just as confused as I am, and quite frankly, I'd be honest. I wouldn't be lying because I don't know where I am.
Maybe
This
if you
is-
dressed in drag and did the hula, they'd be extra confused.
I would agree.
Wow! Wow!
I would tend to agree, however, given that they're in a secret-ish location and they're holding someone against their will, they might not leave anything to chance and perhaps just take you.
Well, I mean, a simple explanation is the wings. I go places.
True. But they wouldn't want you to tell anybody that you found them. That's my worry, at least. Good idea otherwise. Just that's my worry.
Hmm. It's a fair worry.
Although, if you could get an eye on them, I could maybe hold two of them. That would be quite the distraction if they were suddenly paralyzed.
What do you mean by get an eye on them? Like watch them?
You do your thing and cause the distraction and maybe get a peek inside while you're at the door.
Oh, do the spiel, and then suddenly they'll be frozen. But then
Yeah.
wouldn't that be more suspicious than someone just wandering in?
Well, I mean, if they went for you, I could freeze them, or if there's only two of them, we could freeze them and then take them down.
I do have another option. If I can get one of them alone, I can perhaps make a magical suggestion to.
Do you have that
how I
ability
need
as well?
Granted,
So, in this scenario, we've been assuming that the maximum group capacity for these people could be 3. However, if there's more than 3, we can paralyze 2 of them and do the magical convincing that the 2 of you have to any others that may be there. And whoever's left, we can fight, probably.
I could only do a magical convincing or a paralysis. They're both
I'm
concentration. I can't do them both at the same time.
I
do
do have a spell called Siren Song that I can do. And I can use it to charm any kind of enemy of my choice.
Might be the
That's
most acceptable
nice.
semantic suggestion. We need to get one of them alone. That might be able to give us more information. I would be the best choice to talk to him on that. If I could convince him that I'm coming back into the fold for Barnabas, then he might be willing to at least reveal something useful. And then once I have access in, get a I'll have to I'll send out a message and let you know what the situation is and when to move in. Provided that goes well.
Again, yes.
Actually, how many people can I use suggestion on at one time?
Don't forget, dears, if you cast magic or attack, your invisibility disappears. And, are there any insects in this cavernous path?
Make us
Other than Shanga?
nature check.
Right.
She isn't just an insect, she's a friend.
Wow.
Hold on. I'm gonna stick with doing. I rolled a 14, but I'm going to continue rolling digital, just for consistency tonight.
Is there a window above?
You haven't peeked.
10.
10?
10. Are there any Any bugs?
There's Chonga. There's also a couple beetles.
Oh, Gwen's gonna like just gently scoop up a beetle in her invisible hands and is gonna whisper something to it.
Okay. Now,
'Cause
what you're using, is that a spell?
I am so glad you asked, my dear. It is actually one of my features and traits. It's called Speak with Bugs.
Okay.
And
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I didn't
So-
know if it utilized a spell.
Gwen is basically just gonna can you tell us how many giant creatures are in that windmill? Anything bigger than, say, a scary, well, anything our size, please. Crick, crick, coo, coo.
It's a beetle.
Mm-hmm.
You send it on its way.
Okay.
It has an intelligence of 1.
Yep.
And you want it to count.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it an intelligence check. Also, it's a beetle. It doesn't go very fast. And how long does your invisibility last?
An hour. So we got time.
Beetles can fly.
After we kill everyone in that windmill,
not
it's
very
gonna
fast.
land on my shoulder and be like, there were 7.
It rolled pretty high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yeah, after about 20 minutes, the beetle does come back and go, well, there's like a lot of them. There's like,
Oh, just tap on my hand.
there's like 7.
I was right. All right, thank you, dear. She takes like a tiny little crumb of a sunflower seed and sets it down in front of the beetle. And perhaps like hit of a date. I don't know what beetles like.
That works.
Double
Yeah,
checking.
what do beetles like? I don't know beetles.
Well, dung beetles
They
like
usually feed on decomposition.
Oh yes.
Ew.
But like fruits and things, they will feed on that because that decomposes as they eat it. Yeah.
Ah, nerds.
There's,
So
like,
Gwen's gonna be like, my little beetle friend here says that there are 7 or so. Now we're trusting a beetle here, so it could be like
Plus or minus 5.
4 and 3 dogs, or one with a chair. But bless that beetle, it's certainly risked everything just to help us. So please don't step on it on your way out.
Try not to.
And we have about my spell's maybe about halfway through. I can't
So
believe
are we going for distraction and then spell blasting and then interrogation?
well, we should decide something quickly.
I think that sounded like what we were going for.
I'm all on board.
I don't know anymore.
I've been
Shawnee confused.
I've been practicing my knitting without looking because it's all invisible right now.
Well, I could either go myself and be weird, or send my tiny construction. Which would be less suspicious?
I was going to say you.
All right.
Now I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, because I mean, nobody has ever, at least around here, my apologies, has ever seen a moth or an emerald dragon.
Yes. Yes, that is true. We're both very unique in our own right.
Indeed. But which would be more accepting by very paranoid bandits? A real being or a construct? I would think the real being would be less suspicious.
Probably the real being. Well, I'll go in there and I will be honest with them. I'm not going to try to deceive them or lie in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to go in there and be like, I am lost. Everyone looks weird, and I would like to go home. So where is here?
I do hope you know that you have a home with us always. But that aside, we can get into that later. Let's
Yes. I don't want to get sappy right now. All right.
Rivia?
And then she starts to kind of charge a little bit to the
Rivia,
windmill.
Gerald,
Wait, so what do we do after or while she's talking?
I mean,
Like, okay, this is distraction, but what's the plan?
we're all invisible except for you guys.
Right, Moth and me.
I'm assuming Gerald has already infiltrated the building, eaten half of their food, put
I mean, he hasn't spoken up in a while. Gerald, you around?
Oh God, Zinzi's hasn't said anything in a while either.
Right
These are-
here.
Oh,
Good. Only one of you has ran off.
You can't see me because you made me invisible, remember?
I know, but it gives you advantage on so many things.
So
Zinzi
perhaps
should go in there and tie somebody up.
I was gonna say we should have Zinzi's perhaps sneak in
You could
when they open the door.
go in there and start blasting.
Yes, so I'll distract, and everyone who is invisible can go in and start using their spells. Anybody else can use paralyzing spells or mind changing spells
I
to.
don't have spells, I have guns.
That works.
I do have sneak attack.
Ooh, well, make it count. Remember, your invisibility goes away once you get feisty.
Well, I do have this lovely new wand that I could hit all 7 of everybody in there at least once.
Oh.
I love it. Oh shit, that's a 4th level spell. Oh wait, but this is a wand. It's not a wand.
All right. Well, do we have a plan?
Maybe
I suppose.
distraction blast.
So distraction, see what the hell they do or say, and if things go south, attack.
On a side note, did Gerald actually respond, or is Gerald not there right now?
Gerald
didn't
didn't
hear any
respond,
response.
but he may or may not be there.
Make a perception check.
But he invisible.
It's all right. I made him invisible. It was on me.
I will like to make that. Nope,
Okay.
I don't see shit.
Because he's invisible.
I can guarantee I don't see shit. Nope.
Gwen's like, well, if he dies, we'll be able to find the body in an hour. 30 minutes. We're running out of time.
Okay. Changa's gonna go to the windmill
You go, girl.
and kind of like stop at the door a little bit to listen to voices. Like just for a second.
Make a perception check.
I would also like to do that if that's okay.
I'm just following quietly.
I would like to try and sneak to the side of the windmill.
Oh.
Like
Ooh.
all the way along the side, or like on the side of the door, like Mission Impossible style.
Like the side of that, just around the corner.
Okay.
I
Anyone
got a
sneak and make
19
stealth
for
checks?
perception.
Oh.
19 for perception. You still hear a couple soft voices, and you hear the slightest clicking sound.
17.
And you look down, and the doorknob is moving.
18 for stealth.
Before it can open, I throw open the door.
So you
Nine-
go to
19
like,
for
throw the door
stealth.
open, and it takes a minute because you're like, wait. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's unlocked, and you're like, whoosh, and throw open the door.
Hello?
Sorry, Rivia, you said 19 for your stealth?
Yes.
Real quick, before I continue with my narration.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Many of us rolled
What are-
stealth.
Yeah, I'm going to go one at a time and take your stealths.
Sure. We got a 19, an 18, and a 17.
Brian,
Okay,
let
Rivia's
her ask.
19.
Yep.
Zinzi's?
18.
Gwen?
17.
Also 17.
Ooh.
And Shanga, you're not stealthy at all.
Going full throttle.
Not with a surprise bitch move.
Hoping to take him out with pure shock.
As you open the door, you are greeted by this open... The room is dimly lit. There are crates and boxes scattered, broken. There is what looks like partially broken staircase with a balcony that was at one point part of a flat part of the staircase with scattered figures high and low around the room. And in the center of the room, you see a sable Luna, which is one of the more pigeon-esque Lunas. A tall, not older, but older than you, not a teen by any means. Sable Luna, male, standing there. And in front of him, he's got his hand on the shoulder and a blade to that shoulder of a very beaten peregrine raptor. Just watching the door as it opens. He just goes, "Oh, that's it. I was expecting more of you." And that's what we're gonna call it a night.
Oh no! No!
Am I able
Oh,
to,
shit.
as the door flings open, stealth in, go behind the Luma and put my gun to the base of his skull?
We will get to all of that next week. Or not next week, the week after next. You guys have 2 weeks to plan how you want to handle this.
Man.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
I'm gonna just keep with the act. Honestly, I'm gonna go.
Yes,
I don't know
definitely.
what you're talking about, but you're ugly, and I need to get back home.
Yes. Keep them distracted as we make our way in and just surround this fucker. And then all drop invisibility.
Any further movements after this door opens, we will get to later.
Okay.
We will get to next week. Think about what you guys want to do. If anyone wants to take the time to strategize.
We probably should at some point.
It's just a
before we
big
get back on.
round room with broken furniture and crates. There is what looks to be, it looks like it was at one point part of the stairs. It's kind of broken off into the balcony. I'll let you guys know now. There are three figures standing on that. Two kind of off in a corner. The other one standing there has a bow. That's 3, 4, and then there's one on either side of the room, looking towards you guys.
That beetle was basically on it, though.
Yeah.
He got the right number. However, he included Alden as one of the people because he's a beetle.
He's beetle.
I love him. I love the beetle. I would like to be friends with the beetle.
And I think I have an idea for strategy.
We will get to
y'all
all
may
that
not like
next
it.
time.
Right.
Thank you
I like
for
how
anyone
Glenn
who
wasn't
decided
entirely
to
wrong.
join us tonight. I would like to thank Pixel Kitsune for the raid that happened 11 minutes ago. I'm sorry you guys came in at the tail end of our session, but we do appreciate you sticking around to watch the end of our mayhem. If you are interested and found this an entertaining story, then you can watch all of our previous sessions on YouTube. My YouTube channel is AKI Obsession. Just look up Humblewood Heroes of Humble Origin, and you can check out our mayhem. Again, thank you anyone who decided to join, anyone who decides to watch it later on YouTube. We appreciate you. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye!
Bye!